Good evening. And no sun, just rain. Well, thank you for joining us this evening, May 15, 2024, for the program of the Broome County Historical Society. I thank everybody that's here in the Decker Community Room of the Broome County Public Library, those of you that are zooming in, and those attending via live stream. If you are zooming in, I would ask that you please mute your audio at this time. And we'd like to thank Broome County Historical Society Board of Trustee member Margaret Hatzel for providing tonight's cookies. If you are a member of the Historical Society, you received a flyer about tonight's program. If you're not a member and would like to join our all-volunteer organization, please find the membership form on our website. On the beverage and cookie table is a list of programs through June 2024, and our last program will be in June this season. And you can take that, or you can also check it out on the website. One last announcement tonight. One of our Board of Trustees member, Brian Fries, the WSKG documentarian and a frequent speaker for our programs, was honored with a star on the Wall of Stars at the Broome County Forum on April 26th at 4 p.m. And this is a permanent exhibition, and he actually has a big metal star that pays tribute to Broome County arts professionals. And Brian is this year's star. And others that have also gotten a star would be writer Rod Serling, actor Bill Gorman, cartoonist Johnny Hart, and many more artists, performers, musicians, writers, and educators that are honored for their contribution to the local art community. So now back to tonight's program. We are fortunate to have as our speaker tonight, Roger Luther, Broome County historian and president of the Broome County Historical Society, who will share with us the story of the Green Men of Binghamton. Roger is a well-known author, speaker, and historian of the Southern Tier, and also the executive director of PASS, the Preservation Association of the Southern Tier. So who are these mysterious green men, Roger?
Got me.
Uh-oh.
Okay. You know, I was going to say, as long as technology doesn't fail me, we're going to be all right. Well, it already failed me. I was preparing for this, and I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago, the projector died. And there was no fix. So somehow we were able to run wires up through the ceiling or over here. And now the projector's working. But there's no audio that comes from the computers. The mic works, but the audio from the computer doesn't work. And that's the big finish of this program. So I might have a workaround. We'll find out. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, we're here to talk about the Green Man of Binghamton. And some of you may be asking, what is a green man? Well, let me clarify. First of all, it doesn't have to be green, and it doesn't have to be a man. What it is, in architecture anyway, okay, I think you could work. So in architecture, it's usually a face made of or surrounded by foliage, and that's the green connection. And it has been around for a long time, 2,000 years or so, and it's an ancient symbol of renewal, rebirth, and the coming of spring. So it's been around a long time. If you go online, you can do a search on pictures. You can find tons of pictures of green men. So I picked some from various periods of time over the years. And I'll show you the earliest one I could find was from the 2nd century. but he's got all the right ingredients here. He's got foliage coming out of his face. Here's one from the 4th century. There's 2 green men up above a grand entrance. This is a gold plate from the 4th century, and right in the center is a green man. 6th century. That looks kind of like some of the ones we have here in Binghamton. Here's Green Woman. And in 12th to 16th century, they started appearing in churches throughout Europe, and they're all over the place. But that all happened between the 12th and 16th centuries. And then late 19th, early 20th century, it started appearing in secular architecture and during the Gothic revival. All right, today, the green man has taken on even more significance and is kind of a symbol of environmentalism and the need to protect the natural world. And as recently as last year, this green man appeared in England. You may recognize it when you got your invitation to the coronation of King Charles. If you look down at the bottom, there it is. And as I understand it, I guess that there was some kind of conspiracy theory going on that King Charles was following paganism. Okay, we have several examples around town. And let me tell you, PAST, the Preservation Association of the Southern Tier, you all know what PAST does. We're promoting the preservation of historic buildings. And but the same is true for the architectural features that are on those buildings. And we recognize the fact that there's a lot of these green men around town that are really spectacular. And so we've been highlighting them and promoting them and even saving them for, gosh, over 15 years now. So it's past involvement is it's a great story. And I guess that's why I figured, well, heck, let's have a meeting and talk about it, because it is a real interesting story. So we've got a lot of, why do we have them in Binghamton? Well, construction in the city was booming during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. This city was built at that time. And it was during that period that the Green Man had become a popular feature in secular architecture. That's the press building. It was built in 1904. And if you walk in the press building today, and go off to the side where the original lobby used to be and look up, you'll see that. And there are more on the Drazen's Department Store, 96 State Street. Beautiful green man. The Brunner Building, Washington Street. There's 3 of them up there. There's a close-up. These are really spectacular. And not many people know it, but there are green men on the Perry Building. The cast iron facade. Some of those cast iron panels have green men, and I'll show you. One is located right there. And there's a close-up of it. That's a green creature located. Another creature on the Palmer Building, 110 Main Street. There's a green lion on State Street. And you know, just like this one, you don't notice it because they're so high up. And unless you're really looking for them, you miss them. Here's a great example that the Kilmer Mansion has all sorts of neat things kind of hidden away. And if you look for them, you can find them. But one of those neat things is a green man. And it's way up there underneath that little window.
Oh.
There he is. And I love this one. In the Robertson Mansion, you look out one of the front windows, it's in leaded glass, a green. So they're not just on buildings, but they're on houses too. This is Rutherford Street, right? These are right around the corner here. Holly Street. And I wish you could see that one better, but it's kind of washed out with it's got so many layers of paint on it. But on Stuyvesant Street. And same with this one. This is a real tiny one, way up high on Crandall Street. Clinton Street. And this is cool. This is a chair made by the Binghamton Chair Company. And it's got a beautiful green man on it. So I had to throw that in. I was putting this thing together and somebody sent me, oh, it was an advertisement on eBay. The chair was being sold. So I had to include it because it was made by Binghamton Chair Company. I think it was listed for $650. Okay, and now let me, that brings us to the Ross Building. Ross Building is right there on the corner of State and Court Streets. It's that part of the building right there. Erastus Ross had it built for his bank, and he was a very wealthy man and apparently spared no expense. In fact, he's the one that donated 100 acres for Ross Park. But anyway, this building was the mother lode of green men in Binghamton. There's an example. And there were 13 of these. 11 of them looked like this, and they were under 11 of the windows. Here's a close up. What corner of South Street? Southwest. Southeast, where the empty lot is. Oh, yeah. Spoiler alert. And way up high, there were two windows where these green men were. So we did a little research on these green men. They were actually manufactured by this company on Long Island. And that's all they did was make terracotta architectural features. They had this huge complex of buildings. Oh gosh, they did work for Carnegie Hall and Plaza Hotel. But yeah, they were probably the leading manufacturer in the country for this type of thing. By the way, if you look up in the corner there, the 59th Street Bridge is under construction. So that is the company that made all these spectacular Ross Building green men. The only part of that complex that's left is this, their office building here. Now, yeah, I'll show you a couple pictures because, oh man, look at And there's three nice green men there. So this building, the complex was demolished in, oh, well, 68 or in the 70s, I guess, except for that office building. And the office building just sat there and deteriorated until this grassroots preservation group got together with local residents and historians and saved the building. It's funny because I remember looking at it online a few years ago and it was a mess. And now it's gorgeous. They don't have a planned use for it yet, but at least it's been saved. Now, that is an actual New York architectural terracotta brick. We got that brick from the Ross Building. And if you're wondering how we got it from the Ross Building, it's because the Ross Building was demolished. Back in 2008, the building was torn down. It was in real bad shape, and it had gotten so bad that it was a hazard. So they actually had to tear it down, unfortunately. But they just demolished the Green Men as they tore it down. Yeah, and they just kept crashing down one after the other. So at that time, there were some of the community and all of past. I know Tom Haynes was involved. Everybody was trying to get to the mayor to say, hey, stop the demolition. You got to at least salvage a few of these things. But the demolition just continues. Finally, got to about this point, and I shouldn't tell you this. Don't put this on TV. My good friend Jim Bryden and I were talking one day, and we said, you know, there's got to be an intact Green Man in that pile somewhere. So we hatched a plan. We were going to go over there at night, and you know, we put our dark clothes on and went through. There was a little gap in the chain link fence, and we went through it, and we just scouted around. And I wouldn't recommend doing this, by the way. But we couldn't find anything. We find little crumbles, little pieces, but everything was demolished. And then we turned around to leave and looked down, and there was not a whole one, but there was one about 3/4 complete. And so that made the trip worthwhile for sure. It was like only a day or two after that. The only part that was left was that little section there in the back corner. And I was working in Appalachian at the time, and every day at lunchtime I'd drive over with my camera and shoot pictures for the demolition. Well, on this day I got there, and all of a sudden the demolition stopped, and this blue cherry picker thing drove up. Guy with a hazmat suit climbed in, and they lifted him up, and he pried the Green Man loose. He salvaged it and brought it down, and then went up and got one more. So there's actually 2 that were salvaged from the building at the very last minute. So there's one he salvaged. That's the good news. Well, what they did was they put it in a crate and took it over to the I guess the Parks Department for storage. And then later on, we were going to put it on display for a First Friday event in the Perry Building. Pickup truck drove up to the Perry Building. They pried the top off the box, and that's what was in there. Yeah. What is it? You know, obviously, I don't know, a forklift must have hit it, or it dropped or something. In defense of however it happened, they are fragile, and there were fractured lines throughout it, so it wouldn't have taken much to break it. But the good thing is, it got restored. The good thing is, the Preservation Association was finally able to get their hands on it. Because nobody else wanted it. So Pass got it and actually did a job on it, repairing it, putting epoxy on it, rebuilding it, getting it fixed. And even this other one that was broken into 5 pieces there, that turned out great. So they were repaired and restored. And I guess that's the true nature of the Green Man, isn't it? Speaking of which, we go on to renewal and rebirth. Well, now that we've got the original Green Man salvaged, wouldn't it be neat to have him live again? Maybe we could make a mold and make duplicates of this thing. So we got thinking about it. We were at a past board meeting. A few of us decided, okay, let's put our money together. We'll research it, try it. I gotta tell you, we didn't know anything about what we were doing. We were just going in the dark. But we went online, we got some information, we found a place that would sell this latex mold material. Got the mold material, mixed it up, built a frame, poured it over the Green Man, and it was a disaster. I mean, that stuff is not cheap either, but it never firmed up. So we ended up with this big yellow glob of ooze. We gathered up the materials data sheet, took it all to the dump. They took it. We got out of there quick. And then we came back and mixed up another batch. This time we followed the directions. And it worked. It firmed up overnight, well, a couple days, I guess. And there it is. And now it's just a matter of getting it separated from the original. Well, it turned out perfect. And if you notice, there's this thing has so many undercuts, deep undercuts, and it's tricky because you've got to have whatever you're going to mold it with has to be very fluid, so it goes down where you want it to go and doesn't leave air bubbles or whatever. Problem with being fluid is you would sacrifice strength. But we settled in on, we went online to get advice. We got all these professionals. Okay, you got to get this, mix it with that. We decided to just go to Lowe's and pick up a 50-pound bag of grout mix, actually. And it worked perfect. It's nice and fluid. It did a beautiful job. So now you build a frame around the rubber mold, you pour this, you mix up the cement, pour it in, wait 24 hours, and it's done. And this is actually number 1. And there it is coming out of the mold. Yeah. So we figured, well, the batch of us that went in on this, I think there were 5 or 6 of us. We figured we'd make 6 and that would be the end of it. But people started asking for more. So we just kept making them. And we kept going, kept going. Last weekend, yesterday, we took that one out of the mold, one of those, number 163.
Same mold.
Yeah, unbelievable. Well, I'll show you where they're putting them in just a minute. Of course, we won't have any sound to listen to. Now, let me tell you about Green Man Park. Y'all know where Green Man Park is? That's because it isn't. But if you go on MapQuest or Google Maps and look close at the city, you can find Green Man Park, and it happens to be in that green field where the Ross Building used to be.
Oh.
Okay, now I'll tell you the story behind this. Karen, you'll remember this well. Department of Planning, Housing and Community Development sent out a request for public art proposals back in 2011. I think it's the first time they ever did that. So we got the bright idea, well, heck, that's where the Green Man used to be. Let's put him back there. We worked with architect firm Chiasson Anderson, and they came up with this beautiful monument here. You know, people can sit there. We didn't know, maybe 2 or 3 Green Man replicas up there, and then a nice big plaque. And what the plaque did was say, you know, these Green Men stood here for over 100 years, watching over this corner, and it actually paid tribute to our architectural heritage and our famous architects over the years. We all thought it was a great idea. Well, to our surprise, they accepted it. So here's just an excerpt from the letter. Green Man Park has been awarded $10,000. And because the project aligns perfectly with community development goals for the downtown neighborhood, the city is reserving an additional $10,000 to assist with complementary improvements to this centrally located public space. We thought we were in heaven. It just doesn't get any better than that. So it was awarded by the Department of Planning, Housing and Community Development. The next step was to get it past COD, the Commission on Architecture and Urban Design. And they loved it. They went for it unanimously. And then the problem, it was rejected by City Council. And we went before City Council, gosh, I don't know, 4 or 5 times trying to sell them on this idea. But the stumbling block was that they wanted to have a building there, and they figured it wouldn't take long, but a new building would go up there. So they didn't want to do anything to prevent that from happening. Well, that was 15 years ago, and there's no building. So we came up with an alternate plan, and just like that's the wall that's there right now. It's the Drazen Building wall. Well, maybe we should put a temporary display up there that could be moved if and when another building is actually built there. And if it's not, that's fine. And the other alternate plan was, if the building goes up, then how about incorporating it into the facade? Maybe just having one up in the corner or in the back or something. And actually, Mark Ionati liked that idea. The last 2 mayors, well, the last 3 mayors liked that idea, the current one included. So that's still a possibility. If a building goes up there, we're going to fight to have that a Green Man incorporated in. So now you know the story of Green Man Park. Okay, where are they now? Somebody just asked that. And you know what I'm going to do? I had, this being a medieval creation, I had some medieval music to play along with it. And maybe, yeah. Maybe this mic will pick it up from this computer. If not, just. So the good thing is, if you're watching it on Zoom, you'll be able to hear it great. There's the last one. You'll notice there's no green man there, but that is the reading garden right outside here. And Pass is actually donating a green man to the library, and it'll be installed out there before long. Yeah. Well, we used to sell them for 125 each, or if you're a member, 100. We don't make hardly any money on it. But anyway, now you know the story of the Green Man. And
That was.
thank you. So I've got two up here that are brand new, just out of the mold, if you wanted to come up and take a look at them. And I think that terracotta brick is over there too.
Thank you, Roger. Do we have any questions? And do we have some light?
How did you repair it? Did you do it or did you, somebody else? Do it?
We did it. Ron Hansel and I did the big one. And just did research. I don't know, lucked out.
Somebody else here. Yeah.